It's our first time doing the new script here at Northwest, so I forgot it was me first. Folks, good morning. Can I hear you make a joyful noise here at Northwest UU this morning? It is so important that you showed up this morning. Gathering together in community is an act of rebellion against isolation and hopelessness. And what do we say? We sure do. Welcome so much this morning. Thank you for being here in this space. And let's all take a deep, centering breath as we begin to worship together. In this time of Yom Kippur, I invite you all to begin the service by rising in body and or spirit and singing number 214, Shabbat Shalom.
Unitarian Universalism is a faith that is spiritually alive, value-centered, and radically inclusive. We begin each service by kindling a flaming chalice. Those who came before us lit this flame as a beacon of welcome to those in need of a place of sanctuary and belonging. We strive to continue that legacy here today. We kindle this flame with words from Come Into Our Circle by Michelle Collins. Come in from the margins, come into our circle. Here we stretch wide a doorway of belonging. No need to polish your edges or hush your truth. We gather not in sameness, but in shared seeking. Take a breath, set down what you carry. You are welcome, wholly and wildly, in this place. Okay, now for our announcements. You can find ways our community works for love and justice on the back of your order of service. But a few highlights are, first, there's a Girl Scout informational meeting after the service. Please see Sharia or Shay for more details. Sharia is in the choir, yes. Our first Parents' Night will be October 1st. Bring the kids by Northwest for dinner and make connections with other parents. Reverend Julie will lead a discussion group. October 5th, all families are invited to the apple orchard after the service. Please see Eva for more detail. She's giving the story. Yes, yeah. Oh, all congregants are invited, okay. October 6th, we will boil and bless the water, communion water, under the light of the full moon. If you did not get to participate and want to be able to add water, please contact Reverend Julie. Details are in an upcoming newsletter. UU Detroit will have an informational meeting about the building status after church. And for those on Zoom, the Zoom will remain open for the meeting. And finally, our normal technician Michael Bowie is not feeling well today, so Abby is filling in for him her first time. So welcome her and be kind, yes. I'm sure she'll be fine. Okay. And then more details can be found on the back of your order, service and in upcoming newsletters.
Tom, that is all really good stuff to know. But the most important thing to know is that no matter who you are,
What you believe or who you love,
where you're from, or what identities you hold,
with all of your joys and gifts,
with all of your pain and your history,
you are welcome and wanted here.
come, let us worship together. The first thing that we're going to do this morning in our worship, I'm going to actually ask if Eva will come and join me, because we have a special thing that we're doing with the kids this year. We're doing a special program called Crossing Paths. And Crossing Paths is a program in which the kids get to visit other houses of faith and figure out what they do there, so that they get a well-rounded idea of different forms of worship in the world. Unitarian Universalism itself is a rich religious tradition with roots of our own. We just did one of our favorite rituals, water communion, a couple of weeks ago. And the kids are going to go figure out what other people do with their traditions. But one thing that UUism does well is we appreciate other religious traditions, and we are curious about roots and rituals. And while we know that they are not our own to use as we wish, we also know that wisdom comes from something larger than any one culture. And it's good to see how the wisdom of the universe shows up differently in different places. And so to that end, our middle school kids are going to be doing this Crossing Paths program. If you are a middle school kid doing Crossing Paths, can you come up right now? You're a middle school kid doing Crossing Paths. These are some of our folks doing Crossing Paths. That's amazing. Oh, and ninth graders. Sorry. Do you like how well they follow directions? They're like, I know I'm in Crossing Paths, but she said middle school. Yeah, maybe it might be just like I am not middle school. Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes a lot to get to ninth grade. Good job, Oliver and Uriah. So Eva has a little token for you that she's going to give to you. So
these are some carabiners for our friends who are embarking on this program with us.
And it's just something to help you attach what you want to attach to you when you learn the wisdom of the world. So with these carabiners, I'm going to give you a little blessing, y'all. I bless you with curiosity. May you seek a better understanding of how our religious neighbors encounter the enduring mystery and wonder of the universe. I bless you with insight. May you witness of different expressions of universal wisdom, and may that help you tap into the wisdom that lies in each of you and help you express it in ways that are fulfilling and meaning-making. And may you dance. And finally, I bless you with rootedness. As you seek wisdom and insight from the world's religious traditions, may you know that you are rooted in your own tradition and that we will hold and support you through all life's questions and chaos. No matter where you roam or what you find, you will always be welcome here. Can we send our kids on their way with a big round of applause? So before we get to the story for all ages, may we take a moment. We are thinking about different places to put different things in the service, and we're experimenting with a little bit of musical centering and invocation at the beginning of the service. We sometimes took a big silence in the middle, but we're just going to be with each other in this moment. And I invite you to really root down and feel yourself in this space for just a moment. We will come out singing.
Okay. May we now all embrace childlike wonder with a story for all ages.
Before we start our story this morning, I would like to see if we have any joys or sorrows from the children or the teachers.
So, um, at school, we like at 6 hour, um, we have orchestra, and there's one song called "How Corresponds" that I'm trying to do, and it's very hard to do. And yeah,
Brooklyn. Are you learning it on the violin? Yes. She's learning hot cross buns on the violin. Did you have something?
my sorrow is that one time there was a mouse that was dead and like close to my neighbor's house. A mouse was dead. I don't know why. And my joy is that I'm gonna get a robot dog from my brother for Christmas.
A robot dog. Okay, she's getting a robot dog from her brother for Christmas. Did you have something over here?
My joy is that I'm going to my friend's birthday party later.
You're both going? Good, good. Oh, you have something for Jasper?
My son actually asked me to share this, which is very rare, so I'm going to. He had his first high school hockey game yesterday, and he scored a goal.
And I have a joy, and it's sort of like a joy, but also a concern. My brother is in Ukraine today, celebrating Rosh Hashanah at the grave of Rabbi Nachman. So I'm hoping for safe travels for him. All right. I would like to invite Uriah, Oliver, and Annika up. We're going to do a story this morning called Carl and Cupcake. And yeah, we need another mic. Give it to me, Annika. Yeah, thank you, honey. Why don't you give that to me? You can have a seat. The mic. Okay. Oh yeah. Why don't the narrator use that mic? You use this one, and then just turn it on. It is on.
Okay. Is it working? I don't know.
Am I supposed to start? Once upon a time, there was a golden retriever named Carl, and he was a very good boy.
I am. Ever since I was a pup, my mom taught me the golden rule: do to others as you would have them do to you. Whenever I didn't know how to treat my siblings in my litter, I would just think about how I wanted to be treated and do that.
He was friends with I don't know how to say it, Persian cat named Cupcake, and she tolerated him as cats do.
Carl, what are you doing today while the food givers are at work?
Today is Random Act of Kindness Day, and I'm going to do randomly kind things for all of our roommates.
That sounds interesting. Who are you going to start with?
I'm going to give Jeannie one of my bones.
You're going to give Jeannie, the rabbit, one of your bones?
Oh yeah, bones are my favorite treat. She'll love it.
What? Oh, it was my turn? My fault. And off he went before Cupcake could say another word.
Dogs.
Sometime later, Carl came back dejected.
What's wrong, Carl?
Jeannie didn't like the bone at all. She even thumped her feet at me. She was so mad.
I wonder why.
It's a great mystery. I guess she's just in a bad mood. I always love bones.
Maybe treats aren't the best vehicle for cross-species bonding?
Maybe you're right. I'll try a toy next. Hold on. I'm going to give Scales my very best tennis ball. It's going to be hard to part with it since I love it so much. But it would be worth it to make Scales happy.
Scales, the snake.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to run and play with Scales. He'll just love chasing after the ball.
Carl, how is Scales going to chase the ball?
Well, with his legs.
His legs. His legs. Carl.
Oh, stop, Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's how chasing the ball works.
Carl, does Scales the snake have legs?
Oh! Well, yeah, I guess he doesn't.
Do you think that if you want to play with Scales, that maybe you should ask him how he wants to play?
Carl blinked at Cupcake and then moved off at a slower pace. Deep in thought, Carl was gone for a long time, which gave Cupcake a chance to catch up on her Sudoku. But eventually he came back.
Oh, hey, Carl. How did things go with Scales?
Oh, Cupcake, it was great. I asked Scales if he wanted to play, and he said yes. So I asked him how, and he said there was a sunny spot in the yard that he never gets to visit because it's too far away for him. So he got on my back, and I took him to the yard, and we basked in the sun.
You basked?
Oh yeah, it was the best. Nice and warm, and I even rolled on my back and felt the sun on my belly, and Scales loved it.
Well, gosh, Carl, I think I might be a little jealous. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, that went so well it gave me another idea. So when I brought Scales back to his terrarium, I stopped by Jeannie's rabbit hutch and apologized for the bones and asked her what she wanted.
Really? And what did she want?
Clover. Honestly, I tried some and I'm not a fan, but Jeannie liked it and that's the important thing.
It sounds like you learned something today.
Yeah, when I was a puppy, the golden rule, do to others as you want them to do to you, made a lot of sense, and it worked really well when everyone I was with was also a puppy. But now I have a lot of different friends who might need different things than what I want.
Carl, you've discovered the platinum rule. Do to others as they would have you do to them.
Which means I have to ask them what they would like.
That's right. Now let's go get some catnip.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, Carl. I'm going to have some catnip. You can have whatever it is that dogs like.
The end.
Thank you, readers. Now the children are going to be going to their classes. Can you light the chalices? Could we have Aaron carry one and Elliot, do you want to carry one too to your class? Carry the flame? You have to carry it really carefully. And we will rise and sing the children out.
Each month, we share our plate with a community partner. This month, that partner is Southfield Human Services and the Southfield Emergency Needs Fund. Southfield Human Services strives to offer services and opportunities to promote personal growth, independence, dignity, and respect for the citizens of Southfield. Together, our generosity multiplies. Sorry. Here it is. Okay, all undesignated donations will be split between Southfield Human Services and our congregation. A link to give virtually is posted in the Zoom chat.
I'd like to invite Ariana Abel up for a testimony.
It's supposed to be an announcement, but it's a testimony, so. I moved to Michigan from Illinois almost 40 years ago and have zero family in this state. You are my family. When I joined Northwest 27 years ago, the way I got to know all of you was by spending time with you at service auction events, some in your homes. And if it weren't for service auction events, there are many places in Southeast Michigan that I would never have visited. Some events were fun, others quite educational. Our two congregations' mission statements guide us to grow in spirit and knowledge, to radiate kindness, and to love courageously by being there for one another. What better way to be loving and kind than to donate, to open our homes, and to spend time together learning and growing while having fun. With all that's happening in this country right now, it is said we need to connect to beloved community. I need you. By participating in the service auction, you'll not only contribute to keeping the doors open so as to remain available as a support system, and paying our shared staff, but it's lots of fun to attend and provides the opportunity to fill your calendar with enjoyable events throughout the year, giving us occasions to build our connections with one another. Northwest people are like my siblings, and now Detroit people are like my cousins, so one big family. And I'm excited at the idea of sharing this rich tradition with you. Perhaps next year, some Detroit people may want to be involved in the planning. The auction has several parts: raffle tickets, silent bidding on items donated or made by fellow congregants, signing up for and instantly winning a board item event, and attending the auction dinner at which you can raise your bid card to win a fun event to put on your calendar. All for an affordable price, and childcare will be provided. There will be a website where you can register, donate, bid, buy raffle tickets. Beginning in October, there will be someone after services to help you with that if you need it. The live event will be held November 15th here at Northwest. We'll be decorated with a theme. A nice dinner will be served, and there's always lots of laughs. For more information, see me after service and check your newsletter.
Wasn't that better than an announcement? Thank you, Ariana. I just wanted to also say that if money is an issue for you, a barrier to participate, come see me. I have a discretionary fund, and we've had a generous congregant say that they will also help out if there's a barrier. We shouldn't have money be the barrier to participate in something that is so community building. So if you have the funds, it is a fundraiser. If you don't, it's a fundraiser. Come anyway. We're going to sing now number 402, From You I Receive. The choir's going to do most of the singing, but sing along if you feel like it. Is that right, Todd? Oh, let them begin and move as the Spirit moves you.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Where hate rules, let us bring love. Where sorrow, joy. Let us strive more to comfort others than to be comforted. For it is in giving that we receive, and in pardoning that we are pardoned. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Can I give an off-script gratitude for a second? That whole thing happened. First of all, the choir, y'all, the choir. That whole thing happened because we were in worship planning, and I was like, I kind of want a choir piece, and I kind of want to sing this song. Todd made that of that. Like, he's just great, isn't he? Oh. Just got to appreciate my people. Our staff is so great, aren't they? Shouldn't we treat our staff really well? I think we should talk about that a little bit today, but I have a story for you first. I was giving marital counseling to a couple one time. The guy was going through some really hard stuff at work. And he would come home and he would get something to eat, get something to drink, sit on the couch, and sometimes he'd go sit on the back porch and he would just like want a minute to decompress. Work was really, really stressful. And his wife kept saying, he's pushing me away, he's pushing me away, he's pushing me away. And I kept saying to her, well, why do you think that? He doesn't want to talk to me, he doesn't want to engage with me, he doesn't want to tell me what's going wrong, he won't let me help him. To which I said to him, how do you feel? And he's like, I think she's super supportive. She gives me space. She understands. She makes sure there's dinner ready, which is what I really need when I get home. And if I have an hour to decompress after a really stressful day, I can hang out with her. And she's like, but in that hour. And I said, why is it that you're feeling so anxious about that hour that he needs to himself? And when we talked about it enough, she said, because if I came home distressed, I would hate it if he gave me space. I would want him bringing me things and talking to me about my day and comforting me. And I said, well, I'm sure you could ask him to do that if you were the one going through the hard thing. But the thing is, we human beings, we react to things really differently, and we need different things in different times. I don't actually need to talk about this because Eva picked the perfect story for all ages. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And Unitarian Universalism, one of our core tenet beliefs is pluralism. One of our core tenet beliefs is pluralism. The kids, our 6th through 9th graders, are going to figure out how different cultures and religions and spaces deal with and encounter the biggest questions of life right now, and we're honoring that as sacred and good. And if we honor as sacred and good that different people have different religions and cultures and worldviews, then we also have to honor as sacred and good the fact that different people have a lot of different needs as just being human beings on the planet. And that's sometimes really difficult because we've been taught, do unto others as you would have done unto you. We have been taught this really well-meaning thing as caring people. You should give people what you would want. But the thing about the golden rule is that it's actually a little bit selfish underneath. The golden rule is something that lets us react to our own discomfort in a situation by confirming and affirming our own worldview, that this is what another person should want and need. And the platinum rule, to give somebody what they need, that's actually a deeper practice. It's a practice, but because it requires you to not put what you need and think first, and it requires you to build relationship. You cannot just look at a situation and assess what needs to happen. You actually have to go to another person and figure out what it is that would help them in that moment. And that's really, really hard. It's hard to do, especially if we are people, as I am, that have been taught that like my worldview is actually pretty good and is affirmed in dominant spaces throughout most of our culture. I'm told that the things that I do and the way that I need things is pretty normal. Because, you know, I'm an extroverted white person. But, it's really hard to look at somebody who experiences the world very differently than we do and think that what they need is also just as important as what we need. Do you think there's anything weird about that sentence I just said? You don't think there's anything weird about that sentence? I'm going to say it again. It's hard to look at another person and think that maybe what they need is different than what we need. Nothing weird about that sentence? But I use they as a singular pronoun. All right. What? You're used to it now. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. It's been around since the middle. I guess I don't have to give this sermon. Come on. We're going to talk about William the werewolf. Y'all, I have set some of us a hard task. I have set some of us a hard task because I have hired this amazing, vibrant, ridiculously talented staff. And like 2 of us are using the same pronouns we were at birth, right? And we have this amazing, vibrant, talented staff. But sometimes they come to work and encounter folks that are really struggling to speak to them in ways that are completely witnessing of who they are. Do y'all know that Abby's using they, them pronouns now? Amazing. Okay, so Abby's using they, them pronouns. I've gotten permission to talk about this. So for some of us, we didn't know that Abby was using they, them pronouns, right? And for some of us, we're learning, and for some of us, it's fine. Abby's using they, them pronouns. We got it, right? And what I keep hearing, and I think that I've set you all a little challenge, not because I think it's an ethical challenge. I don't think any of us are morally encountering difficulties with this, right? I don't think anyone here is arguing that gender is biology, and if you do have those thoughts or questions about that, come see me at a different time, okay? I haven't heard that in the congregation. But there is a thing that I keep hearing in the congregation, not from all of you, but from some of you, that I want to talk about a little bit, because it's been happening to our staff when they're asking for they, them pronouns to be used. And folks are saying, but grammar. What? Well, wait a minute. We're not going to laugh at people. Okay. You can laugh, Amy. Thank you for being brave. So you're witnessing right now, because y'all know what a good-hearted person Amy is, right? We all know what an amazing human being Amy Vanson is. We all know that there is no malicious bone in Amy Vanson's body. And she's struggling with it. Not really, Amy. I think that there are some things that you would do to some politicians if you had a chance, but even she's struggling a little bit, right? My own mother struggles a little bit, and I think she's the greatest thing since. There you go. I really like apple pie. So, we have these folks that are struggling with grammar. But the thing is, we've used they as a single, and I have two questions for the folks that are really, really struggling with the grammar. All right? Two questions. And they are non-shaming, open, honest questions, okay? The first question is, why? Why are we, honestly, why do we put grammar on such a pedestal? Do we know what language is? At its base, language is a tool to communicate. Language was created so that we could communicate with each other, and grammar is an organizational tool within that language. Do you know how I know that there's nothing inherently correct about grammar? It's because when I go to a different country and they start making weird sounds that I haven't been inculcated in, there's nothing inherent about how that they are speaking that me as a human being witnesses, except for, the emotionality of it sometimes. But there are rules that we have decided to make up about language so that we can understand each other better. And hallelujah, as imperfect as language is, it is so necessary to the project of humanity right now, right? It is so necessary. And the rules that we have made around that language, the grammar that we have made around that language, was made up by a specific group of people, usually the most educated people, which has usually meant the wealthiest people in society, right? So we have this set of rules that a certain set of people have created, which is fine, because language is also an art form, and grammar is beautiful. But grammar, when it's used to shame or dominate or control, isn't a great thing. I used to teach in Detroit public schools. I used to teach theater in Detroit public schools, and one time I was working with the middle schoolers, and I said, we are going to write our own monologues. And they said, cool, miss, but should we write them how we talk or how you talk? And it was a really interesting question. And I said, well, let's talk about it. What would it mean to write them how you talk? And what would it mean to write them how I talk? Because here's the thing, those kids were raised with a different form of grammar. Not a wrong form of grammar, but a different form of grammar. In fact, linguists would classify their grammar as African American vernacular English. There are actually codes for all of the dialects. What I'm speaking now is SAD. It's standard American dialect. And African American vernacular English is way more internally grammatically consistent than standard American dialect, which means that if someone were trying to learn English, they'd be able to pick up African American vernacular English much more easily, because it makes sense, because they were just trying to figure out how to communicate with each other, not listening to all the grammar rules, right? So I had to have a conversation with these kids. I had to have a conversation with these kids about the difference between the way they talk and the way that I talk. And there was a moment where I was struggling with, I was much younger, using the idea of correct language. Like what language is correct, because it hit me that if I told them that they were using improper grammar, I would be telling them that the way that their mothers told them they loved them at night was wrong. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. So we had a conversation about how there was nothing inherently wrong with that, but if they wanted to learn to apply for jobs or write college essays, there were echelons of power in which that grammar could signal to other people that they were some of them. Grammar is sometimes just a tool that's used to signal to other elite people, I am one of you. It is also an art form. It's an art form, grammar. If you're a poet who wants to play with punctuation to change the way that your poetry is expounded, do that. I love using commas to change a sentence completely. One comma can make the difference between let's eat, Grandma, to let's eat, Grandma. It's hilarious, but in real life, if language is meant to communicate, there are very few situations where we are going to contextually confuse whether someone is asking their grandma to eat with them or suggesting cannibalism, right? That's not a real life situation. So it is true that grammar is a thing and it can be beautiful, but it can also be a tool of oppression. And so that brings me to my second question. Do we care about grammar more than we care about witnessing the full humanity of our community members? Do we care about grammar, whether we think what I just said is a bunch of hooey or not? It doesn't matter. Do we care about grammar more than we care about witnessing the full humanity of our community members? Because that actually brings me to the thing I hear people saying the most, the struggle I hear the most from folks, which is not the grammar or the biology or any of that. I hear over and over people say, okay, I'm going to try my best, but it's going to take me a minute. It's going to be really hard. And I get that. I get it. It's hard to try to change your language around something that you don't see. So I think our goal as a community, our spiritual task, is not to remember to say the right thing, but to reshape how we witness people and how we fully see them. I want to give you an example. I used to hang out with a really conservative cohort of ministers. And I was the only female. And whenever we would get together, I was always with the wives. I never got to hang out with the other ministers. And during this period of my life, I got married. And the wives were all like, oh my goodness, thank goodness, you're one of us now. And they kept calling me Mrs. Batterman. They kept calling me Mrs. Batterman over and over again. Mrs. Batterman, how are you, Mrs. Batterman? They would even say it in like this joyous way, like they were welcoming me into the club, Mrs. Batterman. And then when I told them that I wasn't taking my husband's name, they were like, well, that's hard. Then what do we call you Mrs. then? Are you a Ms.? And I was like, if you want to use an honorific, you could call me Reverend. But it showed, right? It showed that they were having difficulty witnessing me in the context in which I wanted to be witnessed. I didn't want to be witnessed as a wife. I love being a wife, specifically to that man. It's great. But in those contexts where I was showing up as clergy in the community, I didn't want to be a woman or a wife or a married person. I wanted to be clergy. But I didn't fit in their conception of clergy, so they couldn't wrap their mouths around calling me reverend. right? They couldn't wrap their mouths around calling me Reverend Brock. And they were like, we'll try. It's really hard for us. This isn't what we're used to. I know this because the person that I struggle with on staff, and again, have permission to talk about this, the person that I struggle with on staff getting their pronouns the most right is Abby. Because Abby recently said, I want you to consider me in a different context. I had known Abby in one context, and I am currently trying to wrap my head around seeing Abby in a different context. So I'm gonna mess up. But if I'm messing up a year from now, it doesn't mean that I can't remember. It means that I haven't fully witnessed Abby in all that they want to be witnessed. It means that I haven't made the shift in my head. And I know it's ridiculous because we have been brought up in this context of two different genders, right? My dad describes it as waking up one day and suddenly people can fly. But the thing is, people have always been able to fly. We just, as a society, have started to say that we're not going to clip their wings. So we have to witness each other in all that we want. And it's not just going to come into play with pronouns, right? It's not just going to come into play with pronouns. It's going to come into play with our religious beliefs. It's going to come into play with our different class backgrounds. It's going to come into play with our different body sizes and abilities. If we stop putting each other in these contextual boxes, and it's impossible to do it first. It's impossible to do it first, but you know what it requires of us? Relationship building. It requires relationship building, which means that we're going to mess up and hurt each other a little bit sometimes. It means we're going to have to ask what we need from each other sometimes. It means that if somebody in this community is seeing you in a way that you wish to be seen differently, you're going to have to talk about it. And if somebody in this community says that they wish for you to alter the way that you see them and interact with them a little bit, we're going to have to slow down and hear it. The good news is, that's literally the only way to build community. That's literally the best thing about being human. It is literally one of the most enriching experiences that we as human beings can have. If we get out of our own way, we not only free ourselves from the confines of what has been put on us by a society that wants to keep us in check and keep us in boxes, we also get the beautiful gift of human connection that waits on the other end. There's nothing better than opening up and seeing, than having a place that felt tight and strained and sharp between you and another person, and having that break down and open to this beautiful witness of all that humanity can be. It's hard. But I think that we as a community are up for the challenge. So I want to thank Abby. They are great. I want to thank Mag. They're spectacular. I want to thank everyone who gives us the opportunity to learn a new way to witness and be with each other. It's only going to help all of us grow. I know this is touchy, and if anybody wants to talk about this further as a way of understanding, you can come talk to me. I'm here. I'm here to talk about all of it. But in the meantime, I'm really asking that we move away from saying, this is gonna be hard, I'm gonna have to remember, into saying, thank you for the opportunity to learn and grow. Thank you for letting me have an opportunity to understand you more deeply as a person. What a gift. What a gift. What a gift. Blessed be and amen. If you now rise in body and our spirit and join me in singing our final hymn, it is a litany. It is a litany for the time of Rosh Hashanah in which we are messing up and forgiving ourselves and each other over and over again. So we're going to sing the refrain, and then I am going to speak the words in between. I've done a lot of speaking. Does somebody else want to speak the words? Tom's going to do it. Okay.
For each time we have struck out in anger without just cause. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For the selfishness that sets us apart and alone. For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For losing sight of our unity. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For those, and for so many other acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. One more time. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
Our new ending asks us at this time to not sit down. You can sit if you feel comfortable sitting, stand if you feel comfortable standing, but turn toward one another. Now is the time that we will look at one another and witness all that are here. If you feel like reaching out and touching each other, you can. If you don't want to, you can put your hand over your heart. But I just want us to witness all that are here today, and we will sing to each other. Put a W in parentheses in front of that H. Holy can mean we are part of a whole. Wow. This is the chalice extinguishing. Please repeat after me. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of hope.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of hope.
The warmth of community.
The warmth of community.
Nor the fire of commitment.
Or the fire of commitment.
These we keep in our hearts.
He's keeping our hearts
until we are together again.
until we are together again.
We are home. We are holding. We are holding one another. The first use of the singular they in literature was in the 1300s with William the Werewolf. And when William became a werewolf, the author started calling him they because did not anymore know if William was a man or a woman. That wasn't the important thing. William was a werewolf. It became common practice to use he when we meant everyone in the 17 and 1800s because we had to establish a dominance of one sex. So using the singular they is feminist, it is transgressive, and it is part of the way that we are going to break through all the bull crap that the world is trying to tell us we have to be right now. Amen? Amen. For those who don't amen, can I get a heck yeah? Heck yeah. We are home. We are holding. We are holding one another.